We had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Andy Fehrenbacher. This is the day after the Teutopolis board's decision that Andy would not be the boys basketball coach anymore, and we appreciate the opportunity to get to talk to Andy and share about a lot of different things here in this few minutes that we'll take. Andy, again, thank you for coming by.
Absolutely, my pleasure, Greg.
We've worked together for a long time, you as Ken's assistant and then these years as varsity coach.
Right.
And I didn't expect that we'd ever be having this conversation.
Yeah, I didn't either. I really didn't. But it's here, so we can talk about it.
Are you satisfied with the information you've received from the board about why they made the decision they did?
I accept their decision. Don't fully agree with it, but you know, I think that's fair on their part and my part. You know, in a situation like this, and with most things in life, I mean, there's always going to be different sides, and not everyone's always going to agree and see things the same way. So I accept the decision that they made, but like I said, do I agree with it? Obviously, I don't. But you know, it is what it is right now.
You were blessed to have some good people there last night on your behalf, both in the open session, but
Right.
then also who spoke on your behalf in the closed session before the board. I know that gratified you.
Oh, absolutely. And I was, you know, I can't thank those people enough for coming out. You know, the people in the open session. I mean, it was a good crowd and a good showing. I know there was an awful lot more than that out there supporting me, and you know, that might not have been able to make to the meeting for various reasons and so forth. And that's fine. I understand. I've gotten a lot of support through the last 3 weeks, being people really reaching out, and then of course last night, and then all day today, messages and emails and texts and everything else. So for all of those that have reached out at some point, I really do appreciate that. And it speaks volumes to me of their character, that they would be willing to do that and say those words. So, and then as far as the 6 that I had to speak on my behalf, well, I guess 7, because Bill Schnabel, our TEA president, was with me the whole time, and you know, he's an excellent union president for our district. But he was with me. But then, of course, Ken Crawford, who I just think the world of and really admire him. We had spent so much time together as me as his assistant for 9 years, and then, you know, he's been very close still with me and kind of watchful over things over the past 8 years, and we've become extremely close friends. And for him to come out and speak really meant a lot. And then I was able to have Troy Bierman, my JV varsity assistant, who was super loyal the time he put in there with me, and you know, he was able to speak on terms of being with me every day in practice and in locker rooms and those types of things. Lori Thompson, who I work very closely with, she is the girls coach, and we set practice schedules and gym schedules and all kinds of things that we have to work very closely on. And you know, we teach together and talk quite often, and of course I had coached her son, so she was able to kind of speak as a co-worker, co-coach, but also a parent as well. And then of course Justin Fleener is a baseball coach. You know, a lot of athletes that he and I have shared over the years, and he and I have known each other for an awfully long time. Much more goes way back before we even were at Teutopolis, because we're from the same area. Sure. So you know, I've always been good friends with him. And then Linda Kalika is a teacher in the building, health and driver ed teacher, and of course I do a lot of behind the wheel. So we work very close every day. She was able to speak on my behalf, and it meant a lot. And then Stephanie Gobzinski, Ubinger, was able to speak basically on behalf of her and her parents and her late brother Andrew, who you know, I was extremely close with and coached him and got to be really good friends with him, and you know, I had them both as students as well. So it was a good group of kind of showing a 360 me in different lights and those types of things. So I really appreciate what those individuals stepped up and did for me.
We also wanted to talk with Andy about the fact that while a closed session matter is just that, a closed session matter, Andy, what do you feel like you'd like to share as far as the reasons or your take on the things that led to their decision?
Really, I think it was based on the negativity for what they proclaimed, the negativity surrounding the program and what they felt. I feel that we have always ran a positive program. I'm very proud of our program and what we have done. And I think in every program you're going to do things that some people agree with and some might not, and some may see it as, well, that's pretty bad. You shouldn't be doing that. And some people look at it as, well, that's just commonplace. That happens all the time. It's not really that big a deal. So I think when you base it on something like that, you're going to have a lot of different opinions and a lot of different sides to that. And like I said, that was what they felt was negativity. I didn't feel that it was as perceived as bad as what they thought it was. And then the other thing, they basically just expressed a desire for the program to move in a different direction.
You've had a tremendous run, 200 wins in 8 seasons, the most that a Teutopolis coach ever had in his first 8 seasons as the coach. 4 straight super sectional appearances, sectional championship game this year. A lot to be gratified about.
Yeah, and I was told that had nothing to do with it, the wins and losses and the success, and I look back on that with also a lot of pride and a lot of joy, and now's the time to kind of reflect on those moments, and think about all the good times and all the players and the coaches who were with us during that whole time, and people who put so much time into that, and I'm super proud and always will be of our accomplishments during those 8 years, and it was a really fun ride. It really was, and something that's going to be tough to. You're going to miss it, no doubt about that. I will certainly miss it, and I'll miss all the players, the past players. I want them to know that I'm thinking about them. They know it, but I can't stress that enough of how much they mean to me. How often I think about them and talk about them around our house. I still hear from some of them from time to time and run into them and so forth, and they always have the utmost respect, and I think that shows the bond that we were able to build. And I know you're going to have a few players that might have gone through and made it all the way through, but didn't, maybe wish things would have been a little bit different, and I get that and I understand that, and I always want what's best for them and hope that they have a really good experience, because that's the most important thing. Sometimes people talk about winning and losing is not all that important. Well, when you do win and have success, that's a lot more fun than losing a whole bunch, and does make for a little bit better situation or better memories there. But I do, as I said, some of those that maybe didn't play as much or felt that they should have played more or should have been involved more. I wish I could have maybe done more for them, but it is what it is, and it doesn't mean that I don't think about them any less. I mean, they all played in our program and made it through and graduated from our program, and they mean a lot to me. And as far as our current players, that's going to be awfully tough to see them now and know that I'm not going to have the opportunity to coach them anymore, because I've built some really strong relationships with those guys. And I certainly support them 100%, and I want them to do well, and I hope they have a lot of success next year and the years to follow. They'll certainly work hard, and we'll put every effort forth. I know they will. And that's the thing, a decision like that doesn't just affect me, it affects an awful lot of people, and it really changes the lives of a lot of people. And those things sometimes you wish were always taken into consideration. I know you hear a lot of best for the kids, but there's a lot of people being affected by it. But like I said, I accept the decision. It's made, and like I said, I'm just proud of what we were able to accomplish, and I truly support those kids that are there now that still have another year or 2 or 3 left, and hope they can keep that tradition going.
Mr. Fritcher also took great pains to assure everybody that you're still a valuable member of the teaching staff in Teutopolis School District, and I know that's something you take a lot of pride in.
Sure, absolutely. You know, I've been there, actually been a teacher there for 18 years. I didn't coach that very first year because I started mid-year, but I've been everything from U.S. history to world history to geography to PE to behind the wheel, driver ed, and there's just been so many different things through the years. So, yeah, I mean, I was assured that I still have my teaching job and so forth, and so, you know, that's comforting to know that. You know, as far as what future may hold for me, you know, my wife, she teaches here in Unit 40 at the junior high in Effingham, and so, you know, we have a good situation with both of us having jobs right here, and our kids, you know, at the grade school at Teutopolis, and you know, we're established here, but you know, we'll certainly take some time to step back and kind of survey the situation and see if, put some feelers if there's something. You never know. I just want to keep options open, and you know, there's a lot of different thoughts and things going through my head right now, but nothing concrete. We'll do whatever's best that we feel is the best for our kids and for our family.
You knew that was going to be a question I'd ask, so I appreciate you bringing it up ahead of time, because I'm guessing that there'll be a lot of basketball programs that would be very interested in talking with you.
Well, we'll see. You know, maybe so. You know, as I said, it's just a time to kind of step back and from everything, and you know, kind of at a crossroads right now to see, do I want to stay on this particular path? Do I want to choose a different path? There's different avenues you can go in coaching, and there's different things in education, and maybe there's a situation that you just totally get out of it altogether. I don't know right now.
People ask me periodically what I like best about my job, or what do I remember most about my job, and it's a difficult question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What do you see as things that you'll always remember in your years as coach?
Probably the biggest thing is just simply the camaraderie with the players and the coaches. That's the one thing that's definitely that will stick out more than any, and not just necessarily in game situations. It's just your everyday stuff, you know, and passing in the hallways, or you know, or at practice, or summer, or open gyms, or whatever it might be. You know, so it's the camaraderie with our own players. The camaraderie with our coaches on staff, but also coaches in the area and all over the state. I've really networked out, and I've got people all over the state that I know real well. Been able to lean on as far as getting information on teams and scouting reports, and you know, those types of things, and I've always been very open to that as well. And I think most coaches know that, and I've gotten an awful lot of support from coaches all over the state. That one thing about coaching is, it's a tough job, and us coaches, we kind of look at it as a fraternity, that, you know, as a brotherhood, that if we don't stick up for one another, who's going to? So, you know, I got a lot of good guys out there that I can lean on right now. So those are things I'll miss.
I appreciate your time. All the best to you. All the best to your family, and we'll look forward to a bright future for you, Andy.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, and you know, all the times working with you, Greg, through the years has been a lot of fun. And I know there were some great times, some not so great times, some tough games to get over, but all in all, you know, I wouldn't trade it, and just look back with a lot of joy and happiness, and I really don't have any animosity. I mean, I'm disappointed and heartbroken, but at the same time, you know, you pick up the pieces and you move forward, and that's what I'll do.